Welcome to this high-level overview of TRIRIGA reservation management. We'll begin this video in the Workplace Services UX application. Specifically, we'll be looking at the Reserve UX application. So if we go ahead and click Reserve, the Reserve UX application opens. The first option we see is where we choose the type of space that we're looking to reserve. It defaults to meeting space, but we can choose workspace. If we leave it as meeting space, we can choose the building in which we want to search for a room. We can set our start date and time and end date and time. We can also change it to an all-day event, which strips the time out. We can also add a recurrence to this meeting. So you have different recurrence types: daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. And if we select a recurrence type, it changes the options in the top right corner. And then we have our recurrence end options, where we can end it after a certain number of occurrences, after a certain date, or we can make the recurrence indefinite. We can select our number of attendees, change our layout that we're looking for, and we can select the amenities that we're looking for. Now that we've specified the type of room we're looking for, we can go ahead and click Search. And we've got 3 results that match the criteria that we specified. We can view these on a floor plan as well. One of them is on the first floor and it's shaded in green. And if we click this drop down, we can see the second floor. And click the drop down again, and we can see the third floor. And if we click it, we can then go ahead and book it. Now it's not booked yet. It's tentatively held right now, and it'll be held tentatively for 30 minutes, at which point it will become available for reservation by someone else if we don't finish the process. We can go ahead and give it a subject, which is basically a name for the reservation. Okay. We can change the timing. We can add special instructions. We can add equipment and food orders. And then we can even add another room. So you can have more than one room in one reservation. And we can also cancel this room and then add a different room. So go ahead and click Create. And it saves the reservation. This will return us to Workplace Services, where we can scroll down, and under this month's reservations, it will be added. And there it is. Actually, I didn't set it so that it would be that far in the future, so it's actually giving us a countdown of when it's going to start. It's going to start in 6.5 minutes. So this is a good opportunity to show that I can actually update this. If I click on the tile, it goes back into the reservation, and I can update various aspects of the reservation. So I'm going to go ahead and update the date and put it for next week. And then click Update. And now that timer will go away. So the timer's gone. We can cancel the reservation if we want to. But that's how to submit how to create a self-service reservation using Workplace Services and the Reserve app. Now, the other side of reservation management is to see it from the perspective of the reservation coordinator, rather than the self-service user that we were just acting as earlier. Some users have self-service privileges and they can create their own reservations, while others don't have those same privileges and they would have to request a reservation, at which point a reservation coordinator would actually create the reservation for them. The reservation coordinator, when they log in, this is their portal, and if you go over to Manage Reservations, you can go to Location Reservation, and it'll open a traditional TRIRIGA reservation form where you can actually change this reservation from me to someone else. And then you can specify, once the section opens, who the request is actually for. So I can search for a different name and make this request for someone else. Then I can go through and enter all the same information that we did in the UX application a few minutes ago. So you have the same fields like subject and start date and end date, the number of attendees, the room type, layout. You You can check off the amenities that you're looking for. And then when you search, the search results come up here. You can check off the rooms that you'd like to book. And at the bottom, you can book the selected rooms. The next screen is like that second screen in the UX app, where you would specify any food orders or equipment orders that you require, and then finish the booking process. What you also have access to as a reservation coordinator is the My Calendar. The My Calendar is a very useful tool where the reservation coordinator can check the calendar and only see reservations that are requested for a certain person. And all the people who have reservations on the calendar that are requested for them will show up in this box over here. So if I go over to Pat Problem, that's the reservation that we created earlier, because I was logged in as Pat Problem when we created that in the UX app. And I can actually open the reservation. And this is what the reservation looks like in the traditional TRIRIGA form. When we use the UX app, it's actually what it's really doing is it's filling out one of these forms and creating a record. And also if I have, say, Pat Problem selected, I can create a reservation for Pat Problem. The reservation form will open, someone else will be already selected, and Pat Problem is in the requested for section. If I go back to my home screen, there's also a reservations calendar view where I can search the calendar for reservations that match certain criteria. So I can look for all reservations in a certain property or in a certain building or on a certain floor or in a certain room, or I can look for all any combination of these criteria. I can search reservations that were requested for this person or just reservations that were requested by this person. If I clear out all the criteria, it will show me all reservations that match, basically all criteria. I can click on one of them and I can open the occurrence, or it's a recurring meeting, so I can open the single occurrence or I can open the series. And this is a very good way for a reservation coordinator to get a total comprehensive view of what the calendar looks like with regard to reservation management. So this concludes our high-level review of reservation management in IBM TRIRIGA. Please note that there is even greater functionality with regard to reservation management in TRIRIGA. Functionality such as the ability to not only reserve rooms, but to also reserve vehicles as part of a fleet, or to reserve other assets as well. Thank you for watching.